Yo, what is up, guys? And I'm back with part 2 of what if Naruto had Gojo's powers, or what if Naruto was Satoru's reincarnation, or what if Naruto was Gojo's reincarnation, or something like that, I guess. But where we left off is basically right after the Land of the Waves, they met up with Kara, Konkuro, and Tamar. I didn't really give full-on details since I don't really see anything important since number one, I'm not shipping Tamari, and number two, I am not really having anything other than canon when it comes to Gara or Konkuro. So basically, the next 2 weeks of training, or 1 week, I like to say 2 weeks. Basically, Team 7 would be training together with Sasuke, trying to train his lightning jutsus. Sakura training with the earth style and water style, since I definitely see her doing pretty good when it comes to water style or earth style. Something like I actually searched up one time and it says she has water and earth style affinity. So that's pretty good. Uh, and Naruto would just be training with his abilities, and maybe I think he would learn the Rasengan here, and I don't see I don't see how he's perfecting the Rasengan, but he can definitely use it. And basically after these 1 week, 2 week training, they would head to the academy, since that was where the Chunin exams was taking place. I may be wrong, but they're just heading where the Chunin exam was taking place. They would then walk in to see, for Naruto to feel a Genjutsu. You can look towards Sasuke and kind of do sign language, or something along the lines of that. And Sasuke realized, this is Anbu, hand signs, since he remembers reading about it from his brother Itachi, who actually, read a book about him, read a book with him one time about it. Basically, Sasuke would see that something along the lines of Genjutsu, door, and then two ninja. Sasuke would then piece together the puzzle and see that two ninja using a Genjutsu, and they're by the door. Sasuke would then nod back and tell Sakura to follow along, I guess. And once they would head to the door, the two Jonin or Chunin would try to stop them, but Naruto would basically just shove them out the way, lightly, and they would walk in the door. They would then sit down and basically wait for the test to start. And really, in this timeline, I don't really see Lee trying to fight Naruto or Sasuke, since they did get in the door fast enough, and the ninja didn't try to quote unquote attack them to fit the role, I guess. Ibiki, the head of the torture unit, would then basically pull up and tell everyone to shut up, after Kabuto would basically show everyone the ninja cards, with basically Sasuke asking Gaara for Naruto Uzumaki. Gaara would my bad. Kabuto would then pull out a ninja card and show Naruto's information, basically saying that he is an S rank in the bingo book, since he basically is pretty strong. I don't see why he can't get the S rank in the bingo book, because number one, he killed Haku and Zabuza, or he technically had a part in it, and he his first mission, or first major mission, was an 8 rank mission. That's pretty good. And for him to beat Kakashi Hatsuki, the second best Jonin in the village, with Guy being first, and people would be surprised, and bro, they shiver, bro. They every time they look at Naruto and you give them that friendly smile, or quote unquote friendly smile, they would just shit their pants, bro. After this, back to the present with Ibiki, explaining them about the first part of the test, with them getting a flashback to some ninja who actually, I think he didn't answer. I think he answered the 10th question or something like that, and he got disqualified. I actually don't remember the flashback itself, but basically Naruto, being pretty smart in this, would basically just answer all the questions. And when Ibiki would announce the 10th question and people would be scared shitless, Naruto wouldn't actually give his motivational speech, since he doesn't want to deal with weak people in the second phase or third phase of the Chunin exams. After this, Naruto would just basically put his head down and sleep until he heard like the louder booming voice of Ibiki. Then quickly get up and see Ibiki announcing the 10th question. And basically, when people started to leave, Ibiki, after that, with seeing the people leave, would say that they passed since there was actually no 10th question, and this was a test. I guess you could say Aizawa type test. Um, After this, everyone would be relieved until somebody would just kick through the window, and EBQ would be pissed since, bro, she's always kicking down the windows in every Chunin exam. Every Chunin exams. After this, Anko would say, "You're getting pretty old, EBQ, to let these many students pass." Like she would basically scoff after saying that. EBQ would just be silent since he doesn't really need to say anything here. After this, basically, Anko would tell everyone to meet her at training ground 44. This is basically forest of death, and tell them to meet her in 5 minutes. After this, Naruto would put his hands together and basically just teleport there, with Sasuke and Sakura just body flickering there. And so would get there. Uncle would be pretty surprised how they got there so fast, and she wouldn't really care, since the second part of the tuning exam is about to start. They don't, she doesn't have time to worry about people who used a body flicker her thoughts, or she thought she did see Naruto use the body flicker. After this, the other ninja would come along, and Anko would pretty much explain the rules of the second exam, or the Forest of Death part of the Chunin exams. And she would pretty much see Naruto being kind of bored, like killing wasn't actually exciting. So she would basically try to throw a kunai at him, but the thing is about the kunai, it would just stop and lose all its momentum before just falling. Naruto would basically look over to her and say, "Yo, did you accidentally do an oopsie there?" Basically antagonizing her. Did you accidentally throw that or something? And did your finger slip? Uncle would get pretty mad, but she would just put it off, since the killing is about to start, and let's see if this guy's ego would actually go down it when he doesn't survive in the Forest of Death, since killing was allowed. After this, Naruto and the rest of Team 7 would sign their forms to basically say if they die, it's not the village's fault. And basically, Naruto would pretty much pretend to act friendly with everyone with the opposite scroll to them, so he could actually track them down and easily get their scroll. The people who actually had the opposite scroll actually thought he was being nice, but they would soon know that he wasn't being nice at all. When the exam started, Naruto would tell Sasuke and Sakura that he's gonna go get the other scrolls, since he remembers who has them and who does it. They would say, "Meet us at this place." They would mark it on a map, and Naruto would nod, remembering the coordinates so he can easily teleport there. After this, Naruto would quickly teleport to a seal, not a seal, but a type seal, and basically just quickly steal the opposite scroll, which was the heavenly scroll, since the team 7 had the earth scroll, so they needed a heavenly scroll. And then they would leave so fast that he would leave so fast that the team didn't even realize he was there. After this, Naruto would head back to his team to see them getting jumped. He would see a snake attacking them, and a person riding on the snake. After this, Naruto basically charged and basically punched the guy / girl. He doesn't really care who it was, off the snake, sending Orochimaru basically flying into the tree. After this, he would then use a hollow purple to basically erase the snake from existence. Orochimaru would get pretty mad and start to really go full power on Naruto. But it wouldn't even phase Naruto. Even when Orochimaru was using the Kusanagi blade, it wouldn't even land on Naruto. The blade wouldn't even come close to him. And when Orochimaru would swing it, the next his swing again, and say he's gonna kill Naruto, Naruto would basically grab the blade and show him the difference in their power before basically slicing his head off with the blade. After this, Naruto would basically like pick up the blades and damn, this looking mad fine. Kusanagi blade, the one that actually like it's a one hit, one shot, one kill, or that's what the rumors say. Orochimaru would actually have to like retreat, and he couldn't even use his Kusanagi. He couldn't like have the Kusanagi blade, which was unfortunate, but it is what it is. After this, Naruto and the rest of Team 7 would head to the tower, and when they'd open the scroll, Ruko would come out trying to scold them, but he realized they're at the tower and they actually got here so fast. He would then explain to them that they should be waiting here for next few days for the next teams to come along. After this, the Team 7 would basically walk in, and basically they'd just be chilling, like, for the next 5 days for the other teams to come along. After this, the second part of the Chunin exams would start with Kabuto still resigning, or not resigning, but forfeiting and leaving, and Naruto versus Kiba would start. Kiba would then go. Kiba would know that this person was the dead last. He wasn't even that good in the academy, so he wouldn't even try. He said, "Oh, I don't even need Akamaru for this." He would then try to do the Man Beast transformation Fang over Fang, but it wouldn't even reach Naruto. He would like pretty much get deflected and reflected, and then basically sent into the wall. Naruto would say, "Are you even trying? Like, this is like so easy." After this, Naruto, my bad. Kiba and Akamaru would do like their actual Man Beast transformation, and they would try to do like a double Fang over Fang. And Naruto would get annoyed at this constant clan techniques, overuse of the clan techniques, and not actually any finesse or any unique any techniques that are actually unique other than his clan techniques. He would then grab Kiba's face and basically slam him against the floor. After this, Kiba's dog Akamaru would be like shivering and whimpering after seeing Naruto's strength. Basically, Akamaru would refuse to fight, and Kiba would be knocked out for the counts. After this, the proctor, I think his name is Hayate, would call the match, saying that Naruto Uzumaki has won the first round of the Chunin exams. After this, Sasuke versus Yoroi would pretty much go way differently, since Sasuke didn't get the curse mark. And if Sasuke did get the curse mark, I know Naruto can easily take it out with some QB chakra, since Kurama's actually pretty nice in this, and he has actually tamed the Kurama. And if he wanted to, he could actually like pull out KCM, but he's kind of the best, so he can't really go full power on it's like a weak ninja, I guess he always says when he thinks about going KCM. After this, Sasuke would just easily clap Yoroi, since Sasuke is not restricted to only taijutsu, and he can actually use his Sharingan. Sasuke would basically just quickly end it with him using a lightning clone to electrify Yoroi, and then use the Lion's Barrage, and basically knocking out Yoroi for the count, and Sasuke Uchiha would win the second round. We're now going to Lee versus Gaara, and that fight would pretty much go the same as canon, since I don't see how Lee would be affected by Naruto having Gojo's powers. Shikamaru versus Kin, I think her name Kin, would also go the same, since Naruto would not affect Shikamaru's progress as a ninja due to him having Gojo's powers. Basically, the whole Chunin exams from there would go the same, except Sakura versus Ino. When Ino would try to use her mind transfer jutsu, Naruto would, my bad. I keep getting mixed up when I say Naruto, Sasuke, or Sakura. Sakura would then use water style, ninja art, water style, water wall. So then she couldn't reach, mind transfer jutsu wouldn't reach. After this, oh my god, Sakura would actually use the headhunter jutsu and go underground, and she would leave a clone there, like a shadow clone. Since, she can use 1 or 2. She can't spam them like Naruto, but 1 is good enough. When the water wall would go down, she would still see Sakura there and pretty much think that she was, ready to go down. Would then charge at Sakura going for a punch, but right when she would do that, basically Sakura would come from underground and uppercut Ino, basically with a chakra enhanced fist, but not like too much of a chakra enhanced fist. She doesn't want to kill her, but kind of like severely injuring her and knocking her out. Basically, Sakura Haruno would win against Ino Yamanaka. After this, the second part of the tuning exams would be over with the fights being assigned. Basically, Sakura would be fighting Dosu, but since Dosu's not going to show up, she'll just not really fight anyone else in the tuning exams. Shikamaru would still be fighting Tamari, and Naruto fighting Neji, while Sasuke is fighting Gaara. This would basically end with Hiruzen announcing that they have 1 month of training and they should use it wisely. Naruto would acknowledge this, and everyone else would pretty much acknowledge this since they need to train. After this, Sasuke would tell Naruto that he's going to train with Kakashi. Naruto would be fine with this, and he advises Sakura that she should train with Kurenai, so maybe she can actually get some good genjutsu down, or get get the foundation of genjutsu itself, since she has some potential in the genjutsu class itself. After this, Naruto would be just walking around, after getting some sweets, since he does have this similar sweet tooth to Gojo. After this, he would then see a guy with similar hair to him, and he would then teleport next to him. And bro, not gonna lie, they'd be peeping this, they'd be doing research as Naruto actually decides to do some research. No, just kidding. But Naruto would say, "Yo, I really like it. We have the same hair color." Jiraiya would basically look to his left and say, "Actually contemplate this," before realizing this is Naruto. So we're not related, but let's just say I knew your parents, or something like that. After this, Naruto would be pretty, I guess, surprised, but he would just laugh it off and say, "So what are you doing here, old man? Are you Jiraiya of the Sani? Are you doing your research like you would usually do?" After this, Jiraiya would actually, Jiraiya would answer basically, saying that, yeah, he's researching his book. Naruto would say, and honestly, Naruto would give him some tips, since he is Gojo's reincarnation-ish, I guess. He'd give him some tips and, pretty much, on how to write his books. Jiraiya would actually be pretty grateful for this, and he'd say, "Hey, I heard you are having the tuning exams, the 1 month of training," and he says, "If you want, I can give you some training for the rest of the month." He would say, and Naruto would be like, "Yeah, I'm down, homie." Basically, that's what he says, in other words. After this, Jiraiya and Naruto would then head to the training grounds, where Jiraiya says, "Hey, I have a good technique I could teach you." It's like summoning an ally to help you in battle. After this, Naruto's ears would perk at this and say, "What's the technique?" Jiraiya would basically say the summoning jutsu, and he would say, "Oh, like Kakashi's dogs, or like the dogs he used in battle." Basically, Jiraiya would say nod, yeah, and Jiraiya would nod, saying, "Yeah, stuff like that." But this time, it's not the dog summoning; it's the toad summoning. After this, Jiraiya would pull out a summoning contract, and he would say, "Sign this with your blood." And Naruto would quickly sign it and saying, "What should I do now?" He says, "Memorize these hand signs," and they would try it. And Naruto would ask Kyuubi for a little chakra, and basically do the hand signs, slamming his hand onto the ground, saying summoning jutsu. After this, Gamabunsa would then be summoned. He says, "Hey, Jiraiya, did you summon me?" After this, Jiraiya would say, "No, it's your new summoner, or your second summoner, Naruto Uzumaki." Gamabunsa would recognize his name from the Child of Prophecy, pretty much. He heard this from Minato. Basically, Minato would say that Naruto is a Child of Prophecy. After this, Gamabunsa would then explain Naruto that he has to stay on his head for the day, or as long as he can. And Naruto would pretty much say, yeah, Naruto would put his chakra, Naruto would basically go KCM, and basically lock his feet down onto the frog's head. Jiraiya would be pretty surprised, but he thought, I'll just ask him after he does the test with Gamabunsa. After this, Jiraiya would basically head out and basically just wait for Naruto to finish doing the test, with Naruto like after 2 hours, basically, Gamabunta would see that he's not budging, and he's actually not winning this one. Like Gamabunta is not getting Naruto off. After this, Gamabunta would concede, saying that Naruto can be his new summoner and that he acknowledges Naruto's power and determination. After this, Naruto would then thank Gamabunta for his, I guess, cooperation, since he didn't have to stay the whole day. After this, he would then turn off KCM, basically, and head down to Jiraiya, with Jiraiya asking, what mode was that? Naruto would then say, it's a mode where I get the Kurama chakra, and he basically hands it to me with all the hatred, since I have recently, I guess, erased his hatred. There's Jiraiya says, Kurama, is that the Kyuubi's name? Naruto would then nod and pretty much tell him that he recently got it, and he doesn't really like to use it that much, since he likes to use his own techniques he came up with, and he doesn't want to be the person to like rely on the Kyuubi's chakra just because he is a Jinchuriki. After this, Jiraiya would respect Naruto's ideals of just in general wanting to use his own power, not relying on someone else. After this, they would spend the whole month training with Jiraiya and Naruto, kind of getting some bonding. Naruto learning, perfecting the Rasengan, and doing some other chakra control and learning some nice taijutsu, along with his already pretty good taijutsu, Gojo's fighting style. After this, Naruto would definitely like put on the drip, and actually this time, instead of wearing his usual shades, he would actually decide to wear his blindfold. After this, Jiraiya would say, why are you wearing the blindfold? Naruto would say, oh, it's for my doujutsu that I only have. Jiraiya would not want to question it, since maybe he'll ask another day, and you would basically wave to Naruto, while Naruto would wave back. Naruto would then put his hands together and not transform, teleport to the arena, basically saying that like where everyone's basically at the bottom of the field, and Hayate, or I think it's the proctor there, I actually don't know his name, would actually say, oh, Naruto Uzumaki has appeared, something like that, and people would be surprised, who is he? And the Hokage says, "Oh, Naruto, my boy, you appeared," in his mind, basically. Um, After this, everyone's fights would be pretty much announced, or like told when they're starting, and Naruto versus Neji would start with Nara. Neji says, "I'm gonna beat you, no matter what power you have. You can't beat fate." After this, Naruto would say, "Oh yeah, I guess we'll see." And basically, this is where I'll be leaving off part 2 of What If Naruto Had Gojo's Powers. I know, I left you on the cliffhanger, but hey, I'll definitely record the next part today and have it uploaded tomorrow. But other than that, peace out, guys.